All right, all right, all right. Happy Sunday. Are we live? Are we live now?
I think so.
We are.
Let me
Yeah,
double
guess
check.
what? I know. Is it?
Yep, we're live.
All right.
The ongoing series about the life of the people touched by the love of the Pacific. Here are their stories. This is Highway 54.
Yo, happy Sunday, everybody. Welcome to Highway 54.
Happy Sunday.
Wow, man. Today it's me and Abby. Oh, and Carlo's coming in. He's about to, there you go. We got Carlo coming in. Man, it's been a crazy week. You guys okay? Hey, Carlo, what's up?
Yeah, what's up?
You just got back?
Hey, Carlo.
Plus technical difficulties per usual.
Oh, no,
So many stuff plugged in on this computer.
Oh yeah, Carlo's been a jet setter. Just been traveling all over the. I'm what do you call that? Not super jealous, but I've done my time traveling and stuff. But you've been traveling weekly, right? Pretty much weekly.
Yeah, it's not that fun with COVID.
Oh yeah.
I wish it's not COVID, but I'll be in San Diego though.
Yeah.
When?
I'll hit you up. Okay. I'll be
Yeah.
in closer to that area. I think April 12th-ish.
Oh, perfect. April 7th, I take my second dose, so I should be good to go, bro.
I don't have one yet. Soon.
No worries, man.
Yeah.
Well,
how did you get yours, Floyd?
The vets, they're calling all the veterans, man.
Yeah, I think all the
okay.
I think veterans, spouses, caregivers are priority right now.
But at least San Diego, they're opening up to almost all ages, but supplies are limited, so they're waiting for supplies to come in. So yeah, guys. So in a few weeks, if not your city or state, it's happening. It's starting to open up to the other ages. So those who are going to get it, please get it. But veterans, I believe, at least California, they're opening up to all the veterans. So they started last week, Thursday, and it was by phone. This response: yes, no, schedule, yes, and you just apply yes, and three days later, I got my schedule, and they're doing like 600 a day. So with the veterans.
Oh wow!
So,
on base or at VA hospital?
It was a VA hospital.
Hospital. Okay.
Yeah. But I believe like the CVS, Walmart, a lot of places are now offering the vaccine. So just look out. I subscribe to the San Diego State City do you call that? The updates and all that. So
gotcha. Yeah, it's so hard to get an appointment. I mean, I've been qualified for like only a few days, but just so hard to get an appointment. Even for my face, but
you get it. Hopefully, they say by May 1st we'll get a good majority of the nation. So it's getting there.
Yeah,
it's kind of a sigh of relief. I know people been posting a lot about when they get their COVID vaccine. It's kind of
Well, the problem right now is there's a lot of people traveling now, so and I don't have my shot yet. So
yes, a lot of people are traveling. My sister actually went to Seattle to visit my other sister. She lives and works there. So so my sister, my brother-in-law, and my other sister went there last week. Yeah, last week. And they were just hanging out there. They had fun. You know. But we were supposed to actually go because the UNF, the university here, they were supposed to be on spring break. So, but because of, they knew that everybody was going to go out and everybody was going to do the spring break party shit.
Happening.
So they canceled spring break for a UNF student. So my daughter did not have a spring break at all.
Wow. Oh, really?
Yeah, but we were supposed to go. She doesn't have school on Friday. So we were supposed to go to Orlando Friday or Saturday. And one of my best friends, childhood best friends, she lives in Deltona, which is about 20 minutes away from Orlando. And she was telling me, she's like, don't even bother. She goes, everybody is here. It's so packed. And I was like, yeah, because, people are just tired. It's been a year. We've been in quarantine for a year. And the sad thing is our numbers aren't that great,
Florida,
yeah, our numbers aren't great. They are, I think yesterday when I checked, there was like 6,000 people that tested positive in one day.
Wow.
So I was like, I guess we're not gonna go.
I've seen bits and pieces of news and pictures from Florida, and like, holy shit, it's like nothing happened. And you can see maybe if there's 20 people, maybe 2 are wearing masks.
Oh yeah, that's what they actually had to close part of Miami Beach because they were saying stuff like you could not see the ground because of how many people were at the beach in Miami.
That's
so and it's crazy. So there are locals there. Locals still go out, but you have spring breakers coming in, flying in, like what Carlos said, people are flying. They're not scared anymore because they figured, oh, the vaccine is there. So, people are taking the vaccine and whatever, or they're just saying, you know what, fuck it. If I'm going to get it, I'm going to get it.
Yeah.
Nah, not me, dude. I don't want to get this at the last leg of the pandemic.
No, I do not. I mean, I was telling Floyd and Kellen this, that my brothers tested positive last week.
Wow.
Yeah, just this past week. So, they live with my parents. And my parents, who had initially both refused to take the shot, they got scared. It was like an eye-opening thing for them. So they got their tests. They tested negative, but when they were there, they had said, my son's tested positive. That's why I'm here. And the lady was like, well, you're getting your shot then. So they got the COVID, vaccine.
Yeah.
And my mom was like telling me, she's like, oh, I feel awful. I don't feel good. And then I told her, I said, well, imagine I said, Mom, that's just a vaccine. So the vaccine is actually your body's doing the work that it's supposed to do.
Yeah.
It's building the antibodies that it needs to recognize and fight COVID. And I said, can you imagine if that was full on COVID?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, you are reacting that way, and it's the mildest, minuscule form of COVID that they could give somebody. Mm-hmm. And I was like, imagine you. And she's like, oh my God, it'll be in the hospital. And I was like, yeah.
Yeah. It's just a sigh of relief. It's just my mom and dad got the second one. And so my mom got it's usual. She got chills, she got sick, but she was only like a few hours. And we checked her blood, we checked her breathing, we checked, everything, her temperature. She's fine, and took a little medicine and Advil, whatever, and she was okay the next day. So it's gonna happen. It's just like the flu shot. Some people get sick, they get cold, they get chills. I've never, from my flu shots, I've been taking over 20 plus years now. So I'm assuming if it does hit me, it's it's gonna be a little. I don't get sick. It doesn't mean like, oh, I'm sick a little bit, but it's a sigh of relief. And we're seeing a lot of our friends posting about getting the vaccine and having that mixed emotion. It's just another security. Is it 90? Is it 100%? Dude, nothing is 100%. Come on,
nope,
dude.
Nothing.
Research. Not even a condom is 100%. Like you can't have wearing your seatbelt is not 100%, but it's a really good chance that you won't get hurt as much.
Yeah, and that is the caveat. As much. Those are the two words.
Yeah.
As much.
Yeah.
And I think that's what we as society has to understand. Getting the vaccine isn't going to stop you from getting COVID. It's not. That's not how vaccines work. Vaccines will just limit the seriousness of the virus. And I am like my two daughters who work as one works at the hospital and one is a behavior therapist. So she sees a lot of patients in their homes or in other environments. So she had to take it. And they were like telling me, they're like, Mom, if you can't get it through the military, go call Publix. Have them put your name down on the list. And if that day they had extras, tell them that you're willing to drive. As soon as you get that call, you're going to make that drive.
Right. But today? Yeah.
I'll be there.
Come on now.
Yeah. So because my son is 12, he can't get it. My other daughter is 15. She can't get it.
Oh man.
Yeah, so it's only me, my husband, and my other daughter who's 18 who can get that shot. And the three of us sat down and we're like, yeah, we're getting it. There's no.
Come on. I mean, we all grew up, around the military, part military, or in the military, and whatever the government told us to get, we get it. And I've been okay. I got the booster shot. I got the chicken pox, the
smallpox. The anthrax. You guys got the anthrax shot too, right?
I'm telling you, guys who've done it before, guys and girls who've done it before, anthrax is like maple syrup going into your blood. I'm like, what the hell is that? And it's like 4 times. Dude, I'm telling you, that is the worst shot to ever get. And I'm okay with shots. But there's that anthrax, I'm telling you, it was like maple syrup. It was you could feel it going into your arm. And
really?
Some people got sick, some people got really sore. And so like when I got the vaccine, I'm like, that's it. Yep. Cool. Walked out, Well, you have to wait like 15 minutes because you might have an allergic reaction. Like any other thing, everybody's body is different. Some people can take Tylenol. Some people can't take penicillin. Everybody, it's the same thing with vaccines. Someone's going to have an allergic reaction. Some people are allergic to seafood. Why? We don't know, man. That's just your body. And so with, you're going to say, the thinking is, of course, with this vaccine, someone's going to have an allergic reaction. That's the way it is.
Yeah, and sometimes you don't find out you're freaking allergic to something until you have that reaction, and it's scary, and it's life threatening, yes, but once you know, you know. And so that's why they ask you. They're like, "Are you allergic to penicillin? Are you allergic to anything?" There are people who are allergic to freaking what is that? Latex.
Yeah.
So it's just and I tell this.
So he says.
Or so he says.
Carlo,
I'm allergic to latex.
Took me a while.
I set myself up for that one. But yeah, it's like I told my friend, I said, man, you can tell who didn't pay attention to their science class with all the people who talk and make comments. And I'm like,
a lot of people.
You did not listen to your science teachers.
Yeah. Well, we've got some touchy issues I don't want to talk about, and I'm glad Carlo was here because it bothers me, and it's getting a lot of people are getting aware now, and get your take on because we all grew up Filipino American, and we grew up in different countries, and then we all came back to the States, and so let's talk about our experience, what we think about the Atlanta shooting, the uptick in Asian violence. And all that. So, but I'll save that for a little bit later as we have a segue. So let me just bring up. I want to also thank Crowns Guam, Randy out there. Thank you for my hat. I've had this hat for a while. I just always want to thank you because I've got like 15 hats from him and some shirts and sweaters. And I don't want to keep looking at his site because I keep wanting to buy. So, Randy, I love you, man. Thanks for making great products. And of course, Norman and Alysta, one of my high school buddies, graduated 93 Ocean View. Norman, and it's Analyst and Company, makes custom polos. He has the Food Dog sweater. It's like blowing up right now. So a lot of stars are wearing it right now. So I'll look him up on Facebook and on Instagram, Analysta and Company. And this is one of his products here, custom made for me. And it's a medium size pina pineapple. So anyways, thank you guys. And then we have a new company added to our family, and it's called Be Athlete with Jay Mendiola. He has some shirts we'll be sending hopefully by next week, and hopefully we all can wear it and give a shout out to him and his brand. Cool. So Leslie, our wonderful Leslie out over here in California, has a little shop called the My Lucky Karma, and so it's the crystal of the week for her. Show this real quick.
Hey guys, it's me, Leslie, bringing you the crystal of the week. This week's crystal is pyrite, and pyrite is connected to our solar plexus chakra. This area governs our personality, ego, identity, as well as personal freedom, choice, and authenticity. Balancing this chakra improves our confidence, self-esteem, as well as helping us feel more in control of life. Pyrite is known as a stone of luck, helping to attract abundance, wealth, and prosperity, boosting creativity and encouraging one to follow one's dreams. Don't forget to check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at My Lucky Karma, and swing by our Etsy shop. Keep spreading your love and light, and until next time, namaste.
Namaste.
All right. Leslie is, since we've been airing her crystal of the week, she's been really busy up there. She's around Edwards Air Force Base, if you guys know that. My Lucky Karma. She has her Facebook, Instagram, Etsy, and she has a website, but she's more Instagram. So if you ever look into, she will answer you. Just message her, and hopefully she'll get back to you. And all of us here has some crystals or sage products from her, and she does really great products. So, love you, Leslie. Hopefully one day she'll come back and join us. Right now it's spring break, so a lot of us are on the road right now, or planning some stuff or with family. So it's that time where Kellen and Susanna and Erica will be back after school. She has a couple more weeks, and then Eric is doing some stuff with family. So, all right, guys. So if we've got a choice here, we've got best coffee house, best Beyonce music songs, or maybe let this one for last, but best Asian restaurant chains. Which one you guys want to start with first? Best coffee?
Coffee house is big debate, but go ahead.
Okay.
I know. Abby.
Okay. Let's do that.
Let's do coffee houses because you guys are saying big debate. So let's see.
All right. Well, I'm a coffee lover, not as maybe it's intense as anybody else, but we want to talk about the best coffee house chains, and so we all know we have our favorites, and I don't want to be the usual, which the one brand that everybody goes to, not just nationwide, but worldwide. So here's a list of the best coffee houses chains, debatable depending on what country you're from, what state, what city, and all that. But let's go. We have number 10 here. All right, best coffee house chains. I've never heard of some of these, so hopefully, I know we're West and East Coast here. So number 10, Gloria's Jeans Coffee.
Gloria Gaines Coffee?
Gloria Jeans.
I've heard about
Gloria
that.
Jeans.
You
Sounds
familiar. Probably. Yeah, I don't think that's.
Gourmet Coffee, Gloria
Gourmet
Jeans.
Coffee. Yeah.
Yep.
Is it Gourmet Coffee?
Yeah, Gourmet Coffee.
All right, number 9. I guess this is a restaurant, eating and drinking coffee place called Tim Hortons.
Oh yeah.
Canada. Yeah.
Canada?
Oh my
Canadian,
gosh, yes. I have cousins who live in Canada, and they brought us a tin of Tim Hortons coffee. Yeah. And to this day, my mother swears that is the best coffee. And my mom's not a coffee drinker, but give her a tin of that, she will drink
Tim
it.
Hortons. Okay. I'll look for that.
Yeah. They have a location in the Philippines now too, if you ever go.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah. Oh, dude, back in the Philippines, they doing the manual drip, coffee kind of thing. That's like the rage now.
Oh, yeah.
That's everywhere.
Is that everywhere?
Yeah.
Yeah, I never tried it. So
even your regular Starbucks would do drip if you'd ask them to.
Oh yeah.
They'll look at you really badly because
especially if there's like a line. There's only like 2 of them, and there's a line. And you're like, oh, let me get the reserve ones. Oh, it's only drip. Yeah, I have time. They're like, oh, asshole.
Yeah. Oh, I would never trust. I have one that's like 5 minutes from my house. I would never trust that one.
If it's a slow day and then there's a few people, order drip. They have time.
Okay. Well, I need to venture on and do that.
I think Tim Hortons is well known for their donuts too.
Oh yes. I forgot. Yeah, they do donuts.
All right.
Canadians are very patriotic when it comes to Tim Hortons.
Oh man.
Yep.
Gotta try it. All right, number 8. Costa Coffee. Costa.
I think that's a UK. I think that's the one that let me go look it up because they have the Cortado. Wait,
yeah, 1973 says here. 1971. Costa Coffee.
Yep.
Never heard of that place, but sounds good. All right, number 7, the Coffee Bean and Tea Leaf. Yeah.
I mean, they're around. I don't think
I've had it once, but
I think they're very I don't know. Every time I go, some places are good, some places are just like, I don't know why they're still up. They're not well maintained, but
maybe it's depending on the franchise, right?
Yeah, well, they're owned by Jollibee Corporation now, so.
Yeah. That's where I saw it in Philippines.
So same thing. That and Smash Burger is owned by Jollibee Corporation.
Smash Burgers.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Yeah, they bought them out.
I think they have one in Guam, the Coffee Bean and Tea Leaf.
All right, yeah, they do. Yeah, I think that's the one. That's the one that my niece goes to. I think
they're everywhere. Yeah. I think there's some in California too.
Number 6, Phil's Coffee.
Phil's Coffee?
Yeah.
Phil's Coffee?
Phil's with a Z. Phil's.
No, I'm familiar.
I never heard it.
No.
Number 5, Intelligentsia Coffee and Tea. I don't know.
Yeah, that's I've been to one. It's nice.
Man, I need to make a list.
I know,
so
right?
that I can like look it all up and see what's the closest one and just make it like a day trip.
I'm having I'm kind of following in Carlos' footsteps, so I'm gonna be vlogging soon. So I love going to different restaurants, different local establishments.
Wait.
I don't vlog. I just film stuff.
No.
Where are you posting this? Because I've never seen this, Mr.
No,
he has a camera set up.
I'm taking classes, so I'm not posting it. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
No, Intelligentsia is big in LA. It's one of those like higher end barista places.
Gourmet.
Not higher end, but just let's say gourmet boutique.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So we've been talking about the best coffee house chains. So some of these I've never heard, some I have. Okay, number 4, we have Peet's. Peets.
I've heard of that.
I've had their coffee, but never been to their coffee house.
Yeah. And you're going to be really surprised who's number 1, but not really surprised because the company at number 1 has been around for a while. So number 3, Starbucks.
Wait a minute. 3 is Starbucks. Starbucks is only number 3. Wow.
If I tell you the top 2, then you say, "Oh, okay, yeah."
I mean,
because Starbucks, and I had to tell my husband this when we went to the UK. That was the only place. That was like the first place my husband would go to. Like he would search for coffee when he would be looking for coffee. And I looked at him and I said, "We're in England or we're in Scotland. Let's go where locals go. Let's go to Costa or whatever coffee shop, like a small coffee shop, because we're here." Yeah. And he's like, "No, I want my Starbucks." And so I looked at him and I said, "Fine, if we're going to go to Starbucks, we're going to buy the cups because nothing says you've been to that country
unless you go to Starbucks coffee. You buy the cup. Yeah. That's probably the only reason why I would go. Where I'm like, coffee, whatever, because I know the coffee. So like people know Starbucks because they just know it. And so if they want their fix, like, I know my caramel macchiato venti, I know what it is. Versus if they go to like any of the other gourmet coffee, they're like, well, I'm not sure. And I want to spend like $3, $5, $8, whatever it is, right? Like, and I don't know. Oh, it's shit coffee. So that's kind of the reason why. But for the most part, most people go to Starbucks just to get the cups.
Yeah, but Starbucks does have the reserve Starbucks too, which is their higher end. I think that's kind of different than your regular everyday Starbucks. I mean, on the everyday Starbucks, they do serve some of the reserve blends that they do the drip coffee. They'll only serve it at drip coffee. But if you've ever been to a Starbucks reserve, I think here there's 2 in Seattle, and then they're starting to branch out. They have that's like their higher end Starbucks with like an actual full on Italian restaurant or bakery inside, and then they have the actual roasting. Some of them do have like the roasting facility actually inside the cafe, so you can see like coffee being processed. If you look it up online, Starbucks Reserve in Seattle, it'll show you some pretty cool stuff. And I mean, right now it's a very touristy, like, you go to Pike's Place, it's like the first Starbucks. Starbucks Reserve Seattle is like another one of those, like, if you're really big into Starbucks, you got to go there. I go there for the food and the coffee. They're smart because they don't have outlets there, so people can't really just sit down and work there all day.
Oh yeah.
But Starbucks Reserve, that's totally different, because there's like, you can buy coffee flights, say one flavor of coffee 4 different ways, so you can really try. Okay, does it work with drip? Does it work with vacuum? Does it work with there's different ways, like 4 different kind of brews. And they'll even French press it for you, so you can really taste the difference between the different brew of coffee.
No,
check it out. Yeah. I need to look. Starbucks Reserve. I think they're building one in Tokyo. They already built one.
Oh yeah, I haven't been to one that really nice Starbucks in is it Shinjuku or Shibuya? Like really, they've beautiful Starbucks coffee houses in Japan.
Yeah, but those are still just Starbucks brand though. Look at the Reserve brand.
Reserves. Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Well, the best coffee house chains. So we're going to number 2 right now. It's and I've been to this place, and it's actually really good coffee. Caribou Coffee Company. Right.
Never been to their restaurant, but I do buy their bags.
Yep. The Caribou. So, let's go down the line before we go to number 1. You're going to be not so super surprised, but they do have good coffee. So number 10 was Gloria Jeans, Tim Hortons, Costa Coffee. Number 7 was Coffee Bean and Tea Leaf. Phil's Coffee. Number 5, Intelligentsia Coffee and Tea. Pete's. Starbucks at number 3. Number 2 is Caribou Coffee Company. And some honorable mentions: the Dutch Brothers Coffee. Heard that? Stumptown Coffee Roasters. Dunn Brothers Coffee. Big B Coffee. Thule's. Oh yeah, I've seen Thule's in Japan. I never thought of going in there.
Thule's was big in Japan.
Green Beans, yes. You guys know Green Beans? Come on, man. That's like all in the desert. You guys been deployed? They got Green Beans coffee. And then some other companies I never heard before, but it's a grind coffee. I've heard of that one. All right, so number 1. What do you guys think before I say it? Out of all the coffee houses,
it's the donut. Dunkin' Donuts.
Is it
Dunkin' Donuts, the number 1 coffee.
Is it probably for the food? I don't know.
Well, I have to admit, Dunkin' Donut coffee is my preferred coffee than Starbucks. I go to Starbucks not for coffee. I go to Starbucks for their frou-frou drinks.
The frou-frou drinks?
Yeah. Yes, the frou-frou drinks. But but Dunkin' Donuts started carrying matcha, their green tea matcha, and I think they still need to work on it because it's not as good as Starbucks. So I still will order it there regularly, but my order, if I am craving coffee, is I will go to Dunkin' Donuts, and it's just regular iced coffee with cream, sugar, and caramel swirl. That is my go-to coffee, and it's delicious. It's delicious.
Yeah, coffee. Yeah, I've every time I go to Dunkin' Donuts, I get the coffee. It's pretty good, man. They got different flavors, but they have the straight, just regular iced coffee or black coffee or so. Yeah, I'm pretty easy now.
So since we're talking about coffee, I just sent a link to you, Floyd, and I think everybody. You're big into Filipino coffee beans.
Yes.
There's a company called Calzada Coffee.
Ooh.
Calzada Coffee. They have a very good mission in terms of like trying to like promote Filipino coffee. So what I like, I think I sent the link on the private chat, but if you popped out open. So
yeah, let me.
On their shop, you can actually buy roasted or unroasted Filipino coffee if you're into that.
Right here.
Yeah. So, so pretty good mission. I think they really serve a purpose of trying to provide jobs back home. But what I do like about these guys, they're in the U.S. now, and then they do offer what do you call that? Barako coffee, which is if you like black strong coffee. Yeah. So yeah, check them out. Calzada Coffee, us.calzadacoffee.com.
Nice. Yeah. I'll check it out, man. I love to support local too. It's like,
I've met some of these guys here.
Yeah, I've been looking a lot to, one day when I retire in the Philippines to, what should I get into? You know what? Coffee sounds just about right,
Yeah.
Oh, you can order it. Yeah, you can order it online. They also have a Instagram page, Calzada.
Yeah. Nice. Okay.
Yeah, really, really good coffee. Big fan of their Barako coffee. It's not showing up for me on the website. Oh, there you go. From Benguet. So different regions. You can different back. Yeah, if you're big into drip coffee, this is one of the things that I usually recommend to people.
Oh, so you're a drip coffee drinker, huh?
Yeah, connoisseur. Are you a connoisseur?
I have a few things that I have pretty much most of the gadgets except for what they call that vacuum one. You have to heat it up and all that. That's too much work for me. I have espresso machines, a couple of drip machines, and of course, the standard Keurig, but and the French press. But I have everything.
Oh.
Yeah. Now, there's a lot of Seattle. There's a lot of like coffee gadget places where you can kind of explore. And when you go to when you go to the reserve Starbucks, that's when you kind of explore. Okay, well, that's how they do it, and they actually show you how they do it at the reserve, so you can take a picture, have a video done or something. But that's how I got into it. Once I went to the reserve, that's where my whole gadget addiction with coffee kind of started.
Okay. Well, that's nice. Well, I posted on the comments, so if everyone want to visit that, support local, I love to do that. So if they're here in the States, yeah, I'd love to get a couple.
Oh yeah, they're here. Yeah,
try it out, and I'll look them out in the Philippines too. And I don't know, one day, man, maybe I have my own little coffee shop. I'm into that too. So,
well, there's what's that? The veterans one, Black Rifle Coffee. That's owned by veterans too. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that's some. I think he was stationed here in the Seattle area. Then he started learning to spare time to roast coffee in the Seattle area, and then when he got out, he started Black Rifle Company.
Okay.
Yeah, they post really funny like veteran videos too with their coffee and stuff. So that's another one you probably want to look at.
Okay. Mm-hmm. You put that in the comments. And, we'll share that.
Yes, please. But if I have to drink coffee, I will, because when we went to New Orleans, we ate at Cafe Du Monde, and their coffee, oh my God, their coffee is so good. It goes down smooth. It doesn't have that acidy taste that most coffees have. And I found out it's because it's like a chicory blend, I think. Mm-hmm. So if like you're a big fan of Vietnamese coffee, that's similar to it. Got it. Yes. So I love Cafe Du Monde coffee. But that's what I drink.
Well, I'm gonna try it all. I mean, San Diego is a big craft beer place, and I started doing craft beer here again when I got here. But then right now I'm laying off on the coffee for a while. The beer for a couple of months. But coffee, I'll take that. Only problem, man, is it's a laxative for me. It goes in, it goes out. Like, oh, thanks.
But that's why I got into espressos in the morning instead of like full like cups of coffee.
Yeah. Like, I need a venti. No, I don't need that much coffee. That's a lot of coffee. I just need a little cup, just a little shot, because you could drink it throughout the day versus like go, like that's too much liquid for me. And it just goes in and out. Like Carlo, the small coffee. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's enough.
Oh yeah.
Couple hours, I'm good. Like woo, thing, and you get another one, little small coffee. It's like I don't know
how many hours. You'll like the Cuban coffee they serve in South Florida.
Ooh, I heard about that. That's
because those are good. But
crack.
Yeah, I remember my friend telling me that he went to go and get his car done, and his mechanic was Cuban, and so his mechanic was like, "Hey, do you want coffee?" And he's like, "Yeah, I wouldn't mind a cup." And he gives him coffee in like the small cups that they give you, and in his mind, he says, "Oh, thanks, coffee, cute cup." In his mind, he's going, "Man, I spend hundreds and thousands of dollars for you to fix my car. You're gonna give me a little itty bitty coffee cup." Mm-hmm. He took one sip and it just like he told me, he goes, it hit me. And I was like, oh, yeah.
I think, I don't know if it's just an American thing or, like we like to take things in like bulk, like it sometimes you just want to taste it. Like you just want to get, enjoy the taste. You don't need a fucking big ass pot of spaghetti for you only to eat, you want it. Like when you go to have you ever been to Disneyland and the Pirates of the Caribbean? There's a restaurant in the middle.
No, I haven't been lately, but the last time I was there, they didn't have it.
Blue Bayou, the one in Japan. Oh my God, the food was like this small, but it was really, really tasty. So it's one of those like 4-course meals kind of thing, and like you enjoy the food versus like I want to get full from Denny's or IHOP. So same thing with coffee. Coffee is now like like now it's more of a how's the taste? Oh, this, from what region? Like,
You know,
roasted and
my
raw,
husband's like, my husband
raw.
says, just
I
buy
mean,
the Folgers. And I look at him and I said, buy Folgers? And he's like, yeah, Folgers coffee. He said, yeah. And I said, babes, the Dunkin' Donut coffee is on sale at Costco. And he looks at it and he goes, and he literally took the Folgers and then he took the Dunkin' Donut and he goes, which is the better deal?
Dunkin'
And
Donut.
so, no, he took the Folgers.
Oh.
So I just look at
once him or anybody like gets like really great gourmet, really good coffee beans, like you can't go back. You're like, oh, okay, everything else is like, what is this? It's too much, too little, not good, fresh, so now this Philippine one, I'm really gonna seek it out.
Yeah. No, I mean, once you once you really try the different, depending on the coffee, right? There's like different kind of I would say preparation.
Yeah.
So once you figure out, okay, maybe you should do drip here, maybe you should do, French press, whatever. There's usually different kinds of recommendations, but a lot of people just, just regular coffee pot. That's where the Folgers and all that other stuff kind of comes into play. But once you spend the time to really like research or understand like the different notes and the texture and the hint of vanilla and
what
the hint
what
of
what
well
what
it's just
time?
like it's like tea. I am not a big coffee drinker. I will drink my coffee, like I said, I will drink it when I want to, but I am mostly a tea drinker. And there is a big difference when you buy the good kind of green tea versus the cheap everyday kind of green tea. And it's just like English breakfast. It's the exact same thing. The black teas, the green teas, the white teas, the herbals. When you start talking about leaves and where it was grown, where it was, what time of the year or what time of the growth that it was picked, you can tell the difference. And so I believe it when you say that when you get into the nitty gritty of coffee, you can tell.
Yeah.
Once you guys try Blue Mountain Coffee from Jamaica,
that's
big difference. That coffee from Indonesia, the one that's coming out from some kind of animal, that was pretty good too.
Oh, the what do you call that? Not the weasel. It's called holy shit. Someone gave it to me. Definitely. Like you can tell, like this is really good coffee.
Shit coffee.
They eat the coffee and it goes through the digestive system and they
Kopi Luwak.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Oh, that coffee is like holy shit.
Yeah, for the money, maybe twice a year I'll spend the money on it. Not an everyday thing, but that's like the gourmet, one of the gourmet of the gourmets.
Yeah. That's really a good coffee. I
like that. This is coffee. And you don't even have to put anything on it, just drink it straight up.
Yep, black, straight black.
Drip. That one has to be drip.
Yeah, you making me want to get my own little system here, man. Get a little drip system here.
Yeah,
I think I want to go and buy a drip just to see if it'll taste different. Because when I want a Cafe Du Monde coffee, I just take my little dispenser from the Keurig and fill it with my coffee. But
I think my drip system, I have a coffee scale, then I have to have a specific filter. And I measure the water, measure the beans, then I have to grind it a certain way. It's like too much science in the morning. So that's why I ended up just buying an espresso machine in the morning. I'll be fancy when friends are around. Like, hey, what do you want? You want some fancy drip coffee? And then sometimes I'll be like, can we just do French press?
You have that reserve, like
well, what happened is I started collecting, right? I was like, man, I need space. I ended up buying like a little coffee cart to kind of house everything.
not a bar cart,
coffee cart. Yeah. And I have underneath is my collection of Starbucks mugs from all around. Kind of just that's my flex.
Yeah,
Nice.
see, that's like me and tea. I specifically bought a tea kettle so I could heat my water because my daughters, after having tea in the UK, which is how tea should be properly brewed and properly made, you can tell the difference. Like the tea that Starbucks gives me does not compare to the tea that I was getting from like just a local cafeteria in the
Oh,
UK. Yeah,
yeah.
even if it's just a generic, tea shop in the UK, it still could not compare to Starbucks because Starbucks tea is trash if you know how tea is supposed to taste. So when I get in the mood to like really brew a good cup of tea, I will take out my loose leaf teas
Yeah.
and I will brew it that way. And I will like check the temperature of the water. I'll make sure that I'm using a special teaspoon to scoop out my tea leaves.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, and I brew it exactly like I have a timer for 5 minutes, 3 minutes, or more or shorter, depending on what tea I'm making. But yeah, so I totally get it. When
Coffee and
yeah.
tea. I love them both. I don't know how far I'll go into going down. Sometimes I just give me a coffee pod and let it drip, some water. So
Let me see. And I post in
awesome.
the
Yeah.
comments.
So yeah, but definitely with coffee, I love. I mean, for me, mostly it's just green tea. So I love the green tea. I still have a whole can of green tea. I just put in hot water and just mix it up. So. All right, let's talk about, we love Asian restaurants, Asian fast food restaurants, and we grew up on that, whatever island or what state you came from. So here's because they're really quick, delicious meals, and so we rounded up the best Asian restaurant chains of all time. Now there's a cuisine here for every palate. Some top Asian chains make Chinese dishes. Others make Asian restaurants like Japanese. But what I'm very hurt about, and we make our own. The Filipinos don't have their own like fast food like ish. Very franchisee restaurants.
Wait, we have Jollibee.
They have
Well,
Jollibee.
they don't have but that's not like. Come on, man. That's not like the like
What's a chicken place that Filipinos go to? What is that?
Max's.
Yeah.
But it's not like
That
like
garbage.
not like pancit and like lumpia and all that. So that's what I'm talking about. Like fast food point. It can still be point and joint. Like a point, but they don't have that in the mall. Anyways, so let's go to our top 10 here. Some of these I've heard, some I haven't. So at number 10 here, let's see here. And I grew up with one or two of these, and not the best food, but I just, when you grew up with that, when you're younger, you just like that taste.
Yeah, it's a taste of innocence.
Exactly. At number 10, Flat Top Grill.
Flat Top Grill. I don't remember if I.
No, never heard that.
I
Number
don't
9,
remember.
Cafe de Coral. Never heard that. I never heard. Now this one, number 8, it's the Manchu Walk.
Yeah, every mall has that, right?
It's okay. It
On
wasn't like-
base.
yeah, it wasn't like BD's Mongolian Grill. Never heard that. Number 6, Thai Express.
Oh
Yeah, yeah, heard
Express.
that.
Number 5, Who Hot Mongolian Grill. I haven't tried those Mongolian grill places. There's one here near my house in the mall. There's a Mongolian.
Fast food? A fast food one?
Yeah. I think it's before. Number 4 is Pick Up Sticks.
No.
Have you heard that? Pick Up Sticks. Pei Wei Asian Diner at number 3.
Yeah. We heard.
Number 2, which rightfully so, Panda Express.
Yeah.
I've been eating, and I used to work in a mall, and I used to go all the time because I know the owner there, and she gives us 10% discount, sometimes free egg roll. But anyways, for over almost 30 years I've been eating Panda Express. So I know it's not the best food ever. You go half and half with orange chicken, with the beef broccoli, you know what I'm saying, with the egg drop soup sometimes, you know. But it's just a filler, like, it's comfort food for me. Like I said, not the best food, not the best Chinese food. I've had some real Chinese food, but it's not bad for fast food. So
when you're craving Chinese and you don't have, a go-to Chinese takeout place, or you're in a city, you're like in a city and you're visiting, Panda Express, because you're gonna get something. You're gonna get exactly what you want.
Exactly. Yeah. So let's go down the list before we go number one. I know it's really quick here. Flat Top Grill, Cafe de Corral, Manchu Walk, BD's Mongolian Grill, Thai Express, Hu Hot Mongolian Grill, Pickup Sticks, Payway Asian Diner, and then Panda Express. And the number one, you guys probably know this. I've only ate there once, but they have it on the Air Force bases now too. What do you think? It's not Panda Express. It's what's the top Asian fast food restaurants in the nation, at least. P.F. Chang's.
Oh,
that's fast food.
Wait, you consider P.F. Chang's fast food? Shit.
Or Asian chain? I don't know.
Restaurant chain.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, I misspoken. Not fast food.
What base is this?
P.F. Chang's now in Ramstein.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well,
opened up a couple of years ago.
That's like a date restaurant when you're in high school. Like, girl, let me take you to P.F. Chang's.
P.F. Chang's.
I hate eating there. Oh, I was like, man, this is like expensive Chinese takeout. If I wanted Chinese takeout food, I go to Chinese takeout. But
they didn't it's not on the list here. What's his name? His son is the DJ. Benihana's not on here. That's a restaurant, right?
Yeah, Benihana's is a restaurant.
It's not.
There's no Japanese. That's so funny. I didn't hear any Japanese there.
No.
Huh.
Oh, I don't know. Payway is Chinese.
Payway is Chinese. That's
Chinese.
Mm-hmm.
The Thai Express, of course, is Thai. Mongolian is Chinese, or China.
Yeah, Mongolian beef. Yeah.
Yeah. You can see Jimmy Chung's. No, that's not. No, I don't see. Yeah, actually, I don't see Benihana's. I guess like Benihana's was really big back in the 80s and 90s, and so not as much now. I mean, it's still there because they're the original. And they have the funny
teppanyaki.
Yeah, they throw the shrimp like that and make the volcano and yeah. So Benihana should have been a top 10. I don't know. Maybe it hasn't been a very popular franchise.
Yeah, not lately. I think
not lately. Yeah, but they still have them. Maybe they're still around.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so the best Asian restaurant chain. Sorry, I said fast food, but the best Asian restaurant chain. But I think Benihana. At least should have been.
I do want some Panda Express tonight.
Yeah, right. That sounds real good.
Some fried rice and orange chicken.
All right. So the elephant in the room. The Atlanta shooting of not 8 women. I thought it was 8 women. It was 6 women and I think two males. And I think the 2 males were like patrons. They were just there. So hard workers, dedicated mothers, striving immigrants. There were 8 people that were killed in Atlanta. 4 of them were Korean, I believe. 1 was maybe Chinese. I'm not really sure. I have the names, but I don't want to keep the family out of it. But it's crazy. So before I really get into this, I want you to. I posted this on my Facebook, and it's hard for me to really explain how I feel, but I know it's always been going around. It's just more of a prevalent now because people are paying more attention because of COVID-19. Everybody has a smartphone. Everybody's reporting it now. But I believe. Well, let me play this clip.
Unlike my other Asian American brothers and sisters, they're very well spoken when it comes to this situation. Here's a clip from Hassan Minhaj's stand up that explains how I feel about this current situation.
These things happen, and these things will continue to happen. That's the price we pay for being here. And that's when I was like, oh no, we really are from two different generations. Like BMX bikes aside. But my dad's from that generation, like a lot of immigrants, where he feels like if you come to this country, you pay this thing like the American dream tax, right? Like you're going to endure some racism. And if it doesn't cost you your life, well, hey, you lucked out, pay it. There you go, Uncle Sam. But for me, like a lot of us, I was born here. So I actually have the audacity of equality. Like I'm like, nah, I'm an honors gov. I have it right here. Life, liberty, pursuit of happiness. All men are created equal. It says it right here. I'm equal. I'm equal. I don't deserve this.
I was on Facebook for about 10 minutes and I was able to find out that the guy was a youth pastor's kid. Found out that he didn't curse. I also found out he had a sex addiction. I also found out he had a bad day, but I don't even know the names of the victims yet. It's like we're invisible in life and in death. But not anymore.
Wow, that one at least was pretty not pretty cool, but you know, me and Abby were talking about the typical stereotypical Asian, racist tropes where Asian women are regarded as sex symbols or beneath or submissive, depending on where they came from. And we do it to each other, actually. And, in the Philippines, the Filipino culture, we have that titas and titos where we are actually pretty negative against each other, and bring people down. And we accept that as part of our culture. And we also are part of the problem, because we don't now. I believe all the stuff happening with the Asian hatred and the Asian violence, it's always been there, right? But it's more prevalent and more now because of course, COVID-19 has stressed everybody out in different ways. And don't get me wrong, it's not like one blame. There's so many factors that go into what's happening or what has been happening, because it wasn't just one race attacking these Asian Americans or Asian immigrants. It was black, it was Latino, it was white. So you can't say, oh, it was this person's fault. There's a lot of factors that go into that. Now, the problem that we have is that the dilemma that we have, it's always been there.
Mm-hmm.
And we as Asian Americans, we have that tendency to be a part of something that we been dreaming of, right? We want to be more American. We want to be more accepted, or they call us, oh, we're whitewashed, or oh my God, you're branded. No matter what, at least the Asian community, the Filipino community, anywhere we go, we're one of the top OFWs, and that's including the our Indian Americans too. We're the top OFWs around the world, very highly educated, very talented. Whether you're in UK, whether we're in Saudi Arabia, whether it be in Japan, America, we adapt so easily, and sometimes we feel like we lose our identity with our friends and family. We're not really sharing our culture enough or standing up to the stereotypes against our women or our men.
Mm-hmm.
And so it hurts me a little bit, but I'm not surprised. Does that make sense? Like, it hurts me a lot, but I'm not surprised because we do not do anything.
Yeah. And that's the thing. It's
together,
that
together, right?
yeah, it's that model minority trope.
Yes.
Wherein we are the model minority because we easily, like you say, we easily assimilate in whatever culture you drop us in. We need to learn the language, we'll learn the language. We might speak it with an accent, but hell, we're going to learn that language. Because why? Because we want to fit in so badly
Yep.
that we even stop talking to our children in our native language in order to prevent them from having a Tagalog accent
Mm.
with whatever spoken language that they're speaking.
Yep.
Because that happened to me. You know, I went to Guam when I was 6 years old and I spoke Tagalog. But once I started going to school, my Filipino teacher told my mom, don't talk to her in Tagalog anymore. Force her to speak English to you all the time. And my mom said, is this to help her learn English, faster? And she says, yes, but it's also to teach her how to not speak English with an accent because you don't want her to have an accent when she starts speaking. And I know I'm not alone. I know there are hundreds, thousands of, first generation children who were brought to America or to Italy or to Germany or to wherever. And we're told, don't speak the language anymore because you don't want to have that accent. You want to try and fit in as much as possible. And, that's kind of sad because, like you said, we lose our identity. Like, I have daughters. My daughter was telling me, Mom, I don't speak Tagalog. And it's really hard because my boyfriend speaks Tagalog. His whole family speaks Tagalog.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like I'm missing something because I can't identify with my culture of, and it's not her culture of birth because she was born here in the States.
Mm-hmm.
It's so it's I get it because it's hard to be part of a culture when you were taught from birth or you're taught from coming here to kind of ignore it in order to assimilate. And I think that's why when we see the hate that's going on right now, we're angry and we're hurt. But there's a big part of us that says, I'm not surprised.
Yep.
Because it's been happening. But we as a community have kept quiet about it. We never made a fuss. Why? Why are we? And that's the question we have to ask as a community. Why have Asian American Pacific Islanders not been more vocal? And we can't expect people to stand by us, and we can't expect people to advocate for us if we're not willing to do the work.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I totally get it.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, it's they're the MO here is that they're attacking more of the elderly, and these are our grandmothers and our grandfathers or those who immigrated here are still immigrants here, maybe have a green card or whatever, or their family is American, but they're obviously they're older, and so they're still stuck, not stuck, but they still hold on to their culture, whether it be Chinese, Vietnamese,
Mhm.
Thailand, Filipino. And you don't expect, even my parents still have, my dad was in the military for 28 years, and so he still holds on to the Filipino side. And actually it depends on who you grew up with. When I say grow up with, like, who do you hang out with daily basis? you talk more to your coworkers, or do you talk to a big Filipino community or a Chinese community, then you tend to hold on to that accent, you hold on to the language, you hold on to the culture a lot more. Whereas for us who work out, more in the military, who have friends who are white, black, Indian, different cultures, and so, and I think even with my girlfriend, she sometimes doesn't understand why I talk differently to different people, and people from Hawaii and Guam has that. Even Philippines has. We have the code switching, and it all
Yes.
depends.
Yeah.
If I talking to the commander, I'm gonna talk. Hey, good afternoon, sir. Sergeant Carmona, blah 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 blah. I talk differently when I'm teaching. I talk differently. If I talk to people from Guam, and Abby could contest to this, you'll start hearing a little words that are more tomorrow, more from Guam, and then of course, if I'm with Carlo and I hear more Filipino-ish English, then you're gonna hear that also. So it's just we adapt depending on who we talk to, and then that's one thing that's unique about Asian Americans is that and even Latin Americans, we code switch really easy, and that's not to be disrespectful to anybody. That's just so that I can relate to you more. Now, switch it over to our black brothers and sisters and our white sisters and brothers. Do they code switch? Not likely. The way they talk is the way they talk. Depending, of course, if they live or they're from Boston, of course, with a very, very heavy accent, or the South, but mostly they don't. When we talk about code switch, we actually adapt our English, you know what I'm saying?
Yes,
Our language. Yeah, we do.
Right. And my kids, it's so funny because you said that, because my kids have noticed it. If I am talking to a Filipino who just came from here, I try to talk Taglish, and I talk slower, and I don't speak. They can tell when I'm talking to a Filipino, whereas when I'm talking to my friends, especially my friends here in Jacksonville who have Southern accents, my Southern accent kicks in when I'm talking to them. So I drop my y'alls. I start lengthening my vowels, So I think we code switch for acceptance. We want to be accepted. It's either we want to be accepted or we want to be respectful, depending on who we're speaking to. If we're speaking to an elderly, especially like an elderly Tagalog, man or woman, we have that different way of speaking. And
it's just about the communication. Sorry to cut you off, but just communication. How are you going to communicate effectively? Carlo, grew up speaking Tagalog and Bisaya, right? Bisaya, or just is that just
Ilocano? Ilonggo.
No. Ilonggo. Is. So, and then you can hear with his English, of course, because he grew up in those two worlds or three worlds actually, because of course the dialect of Ilonggo is a lot different from Tagalog. It's more Bisaya don't, So how did you are we talking the same kind of language too, where you're code switching between who you talk to?
When I go to Hawaii, it's different. The accent changes a little bit, and the choice of words kind of changes. I started with Tagalog first, then grew up, spent a little bit of time in the other islands, so I spoke Ilonggo there. Then I moved. Then my next state was I lived in Japan, spoke Japanese for a little bit, went back home to the Philippines, and moved to Hawaii. So I kind of picked up a little bit there. But the good thing is, back home in the Philippines, we went to a school where they really try to promote English. So that kind of helped me with the transition over when I moved to the States. So that kind of took away some of the, I guess it kind of gave me a little bit more confidence when I speak. Not like a typical immigrant that just moved, right? We like kind of stay away from people that speaks English. I was like, yeah. My first job was selling stuff. I did really well. So, and then being able to speak English and kind of worked my way through it, kind of helped out a lot. So, but going back to code switching, like I said, when I go to Hawaii and spoke to a lot of islanders there or locals, I kind of, my accent changes a little bit. I'm not sure why. It's just automatic. Then when I go back to the mainland, it's like, okay, a little bit more relaxed, kind of a little bit more proper. When I go to Japan, the English is different because then you have to deal with the Japanese people there, right? I guess then when I go back home, even my English back home is different. So it's more Filipino, I would say, would match my Filipino tone. But I just try to avoid speaking English there, period, when I'm home. Because they'll charge you more money for everything.
I keep shut. Because I look, because it's hot. It's like I wear in slippers. Zori's, I'm wearing sandal, a little tank top. I walk around. I look strictly. Yes, I'm lighter skinned, but I look like I belong there. So I don't really say anything until I say Makano, but they can hear.
Well, the funny part, when I was single, when I go back home, I would I'll speak Tagalog, then I'm like, ooh, cute chick. All right, let me drop some English bombs. Like, hey, what's up? I'm not from here, but then I'll do like the little, hey, what's up? So I live in Cali, so I'm just here for a couple of days. And I switch the accent a little bit. I do play with accents a lot, though. Yeah. Hey, where are you from? Yeah, I'm here. I'm just here in PI for a couple of days, visiting my dad. I'm really from Hawaii. I miss the single life sometimes, but that's
when you're clubbing Lippy and say, hey, how are you? Hey, how are you?
Yeah, no, I won't mess with accents. Hey, mate, how are you?
Yeah,
I'm just here visiting.
Yeah,
but
yeah, I know our experience is pretty similar, and I know like code switching, and so you guys get it when we code switch a lot.
Oh yeah,
especially for those who live in the islands, either Hawaii or Guam. Same thing.
Yeah, once I land on that plane, like a few minutes, my brain wraps around it. Like, okay.
Right. It's not only that; it's when you get together with someone from Guam or someone from Hawaii. Yeah. Oh my God! Once they find out you're from the islands, they start talking to you, and you find yourself saying things. Your your diction just totally. It's different.
Yeah.
So,
especially when I'm drunk, get out of here.
No, I always get automatic combined discount when I go back to the islands because I'll start talking and I'm like, oh, okay, I'll give you a discount then. Like, perfect.
Exactly.
Don't need to show no ID.
Hey, Guam, we have that too, man. Especially when you go to restaurants or clubs, they have the foreign price. What the fuck is the foreign price? And they go, dude, I'm from the South, bro. Well, for me, it wasn't a problem.
You get that mainland price, bro.
Yeah, like $10 to get in. Oh, for him it's 20. Goes, why is it 20? Oh, he's not from here. He goes, okay.
You get that mainlander price. Same thing when I go back home to the Philippines. Like, dude, if you start speaking English, you'll probably pay double.
But my aunties, when we go shopping, my aunties like, Hoy, don't speak, don't talk,
don't say anything.
Yeah, and before we go anywhere, they would actually buy me clothes to let me wear, so that I don't wear the clothes that I wear when we go shopping, because they're like, you already smell like you're balikbayan. No, you're gonna look. Don't talk. You look like it. Don't talk. So that's all I say. I'll even whisper, like if I want something, I'm like, Auntie, that's the dress I want, and then my auntie will do the haggling or whatever.
But so going back to the incident, it's like I said, we're not surprised, especially with the media. We're not surprised whether it be Black, Latino, or Asian, especially with Asian. And it's just not a surprise. But of course, we have to be we have to voice our concerns for everything. Mm-hmm. And we need, we want to support, whatever it is to let people know this is not right. We're not docile, and we are all part of the American psyche, and especially the Filipinos and the Chinese. We've been here for hundreds of years. You know,
No,
we here during the railroads. We were one of the first farmers here in California, one of part of the Union. We helped build the railroads. I mean, in Louisiana, New Orleans, the Filipinos have been there also. East Coast and New York, we're everywhere, and we've been part. It's just that we don't push our culture to your face, you know, but we still hold on to it. And then I know they talked about the media also, you know, in Hollywood, where there's still not enough roles or stereotypes that are still out there, even the most popular movies that I didn't really think about it too much. You know, you talking about Goonies, talking about the Breakfast Club, but the Sweet 16. You know, those movies that we see a lot of the Asian portrayed as nerds or Asian or the submissive sex toy female, whatever. And so now it's we're getting a better light of who we are. We're very, you know, we're scientists, not just scientists. We are boxers. We play basketball. We play baseball. We're writers. We're news anchors. We've always been out there, but mostly the female Asian news anchors are up there. But you know, we're getting guys too. We're behind the scenes too. We're photographers. We are editors. We are directors now. But you know, you're talking about 350 million people or 320 million people in the States are just not seeing it enough, you know, because they don't pay attention too much about us. And now you got BTS, you know, the Korean pop being really popular. And then the big hoopla, like they had the biggest song, the most downloadable videos, most seen videos. I mean, 2020 was the K-pop era and they didn't win a Grammy. Like, what the fuck? Like, are you kidding me? Right? How hard. So, well, the good thing is we won an Oscar. You know, with the Parasite, the first
Parasite,
ever win. So we're going in the right directions, but they still have pockets of towns and cities that still stereotype us as, you know, the problem or not American enough, or they already pigeon us as, you know, uneducated, you know, whatever fobs or whatever you want to call us, you know. But like I said, we do it to ourselves also. And that's why I say it's delicate.
Like we had to advocate. We had to open our mouths now. It's the time of being silent and staying silent and putting up with the bullshit treatment that we have, you know, swallowed the past hundreds of years. It's time to stop. No, hold them accountable. We got to hold people accountable because, like you said, Floyd, we deserve to be here. We earned our right to be here. We earned our right to call the United States of America home.
Home, yeah.
So it's only, I think, even though, like you said, even though we're not surprised, the thing that disappointed me the most was the use of the bullshit excuse of the shooter just having a bad day.
Sex addiction.
Or the sex addiction. That's bullshit. Everybody has a bad day. We all suffer from addiction, but we don't go around killing people because of it.
Yeah, I had a flat tire the other day. I had a bad day.
I didn't go. Yeah. You didn't take a crow, you know, you didn't take your iron and hit somebody with it, right?
No, I didn't fucking shoot 8 motherfucking people.
I don't understand why they're still denying that it's not a hate crime. Like, clearly it is. Like, if he shot like 10 different people, different races, okay, maybe. But if he's targeting specific businesses,
Asian
businesses, race,
he sat outside the fucking massage parlor or the spa. He sat outside. They have him on video sitting there for a good long while. It's like he was staking out the place, trying to see if there was people in there. And it's like the fact that it was the police even didn't want to make a big deal out of it. It's like, and then you have all of a sudden you have all these people, all people who know him. Oh, he was a good guy. He was a quiet guy. You know, he was very active in our church. He was very active in the youth ministry. Well, obviously he was not thinking about God when he went out there and murdered 8 people, because that's not the message that God teaches. If he's a good Christian, he was not a good Christian. And I hate that. I hate that they use that he was having a bad day, that he had a sex addiction, or that he was a good person who just, you know, who had just had it. That's no.
Yeah, but my thing is, okay, he has a sex addiction. What does that have to do with him killing 8 people?
Exactly. But that is what they chose to focus on, right? They chose to focus on that rather than the atrocity.
The fact that they're trying to defend his reason,
his action,
for doing it, just
but,
baffles me.
So let's turn it around. What if he wasn't white? What if he was a Muslim who went and shot up 8 people, 3 different spas, you know, owned by white people? How are they going to paint him now?
Oh, terrorist, domestic terrorist.
Exactly. Yeah. And if it was a black person,
black gangster thug.
Yeah, it would be a gang related, you know, thing. But because so you can't argue that it wasn't a racial thing. And the fact that they refuse to even
and you know and you know who's the most vocal of defending this guy or justifying that this guy killed, it wasn't racial? It's only like one specific genre of people saying very vocal about that. Well, I got to have to be biracial. Exactly. Everything to you that's common sense. That's really common sense. You know, I'm not calling them racist, but what I am calling them is they are not, their opinion is not based on reality. You know, we're probably talking to, I'm sorry, I'm going to be a little bit general on this. Like, most of these people never left their state or city, never even have a passport. And their thinking is not worldly. Their opinion based and their angst and their anger are based on the city or town that they grew up in and never left. Right?
Yep.
Maybe they went to Vegas one time, saying maybe they went to spring break to Florida, but that's not enough to understand how we grew up, how we go through, how a Black American can walk down the street and be targeted, much more than another person, same thing, wearing the same clothes of a different ethnicity, be targeted. Or with Asian, thinking that, that Asian girl married to the white American or Black American, they must be not a respectable person, or just their green card, so they don't have enough experience. And those are the people who are trolling. Those are people on Facebook, people are even these top rated news anchors or whatever, or opinionists like Tucker Carlson. Who are your friends? Where have you been? You're a rich bitch. Like, you have no culture in you that you can speak of, And I tell you, white is not a culture. It's not a culture. Even in Europe, they don't say, "Oh, I'm white." No, I'm Irish. I'm English. Or British, or Slavic, or Turkish. No one says white. Only in America. And how about the Black people? Because you stole their identity. They really don't know where they're from.
Exactly.
You don't know where in Africa they're from. They don't know where in the Caribbean they're from. So it just says they're Black. They made their own ethnicity. Whereas if you really look at it, you can trace your heritage: Irish, French, Russian, Polish, but you choose not to. And and our Black Americans, they can't do that. It's very, very difficult for them.
Because they don't even know who they belong to. Their last names aren't even their last names.
Exactly.
Their last names were taken from their slave owners.
Yeah.
or someone who helped sponsor them, or from the area they decided to call home, and they decided that that was going to be their last name instead of their single names out there.
You're Smiths, you're Smith and the Johnsons.
Mm-hmm.
That's not an African name. So their identity is different, and so you can't compare white and black. You can't. Like I said, white is not. It's not. It's not a culture. It's not a color. So, and I also like get angry too. I don't know if Carlo gets this too or you, but like, oh, what are you? Well, I already know what they're asking. I already know what they're asking. So, but I want to play with them. Like, what are you talking about? So, where you're from? I'm like, I'm from California. No, like, where are you from? Like, just say correctly. What's my ethnicity? I'm Filipino, and maybe Spanish down the road. I don't know. My last name is Carmona. Maybe down the road I have Spanish in me. I'm not sure. But it's like, oh, okay. Even with Filipinos that say, oh, you're Filipino. And he goes, oh, yeah. How about that guy? I don't know. He might be Russian. No, he looks American. What does an American look like? But that's just even Filipinos and Japanese, like, oh, that's American. He goes, I'm American. No, he's American. No, I'm American. White, black, they're American, right? You don't question it, but you say, I tell you I'm American. And so it's other ethnicities too, like don't realize that America is a melting pot still. They kind of know that, but it's either white or black or Latino or whatever, Hispanic. So, but let them be Asian. No, you're Asian. No, motherfucker, I'm American first because my passport says American. I was born in America. Anyways. So it's a lot of factors, right? I know Carlo maybe has a lot different because he grew up a lot in the islands more.
I mess with people because I always get, I didn't know you were Filipino. You look Hispanic. I'm like, okay. Then another guy would be like, depending if I have like the full beard, they're like, oh man, I thought you were like Middle Eastern. All right, good guess. I mean, I don't get offended anymore. I'm like, I guess I could have been like the perfect spy because I pretty much blend anywhere. But no, even in Japan, when I was like all shaven and stuff, people were like, oh, I thought you were either Japanese or Chinese. I'm like, all right, well, I'll cross that off my list. But
right.
But I think people are confused with skin color and the beard and the accent sometimes, but whatever. I got used to it already, so I'm not. Sometimes I get like, especially like if they don't catch me speaking Filipino, they'll think I'm Hispanic. Like Hispanic people think I'm Hispanic, and every time I tell them I'm not Hispanic, they're like, "Oh, you're not Hispanic? What? I'm like, why are you offended? Like, like when they ask me like, oh, you don't speak Spanish? Like, I don't speak Spanish. Like, they get all offended. I'm like, dude, calm down. Not Hispanic, just Filipino. They're like, oh, okay. But
exactly, yeah.
No, well, they get confused too because of our last names. They're like, well, you're Lopez, you're Carmona, you're Hernandez. I go, dude, did you not pay attention in school or what? The Spanish American War. Spain ruled the Philippines for over 300 years. There's a possibility that they mixed.
Yeah. Hey, I'm not. I don't have any problem with that because like I go to like Spanish parties and I still blend in. I don't speak the language. I'm like, they just think that I probably grew up not speaking Spanish. They're like, oh, your parents didn't teach you Spanish. I'm like, nah.
But you gotta look at also look at that when Spain, of course, they conquered South America first, and then they ventured on to the Pacific, right?
Mm-hmm.
To all the islands, to especially Guam and Philippines, so they had to pick up workers, right? Pick up staff, people to work the ship and cargo and all that from South America, right? So hence a lot of us look like each other. Why? Because we're mixed. I'm sure the workers, appropriated and so that's why we have Lopez and Hernandez and Carmona. And that if you look at the really indigenous Mexicans, like the Native Americans, they look Filipino. Yeah. And vice versa. Like, with Carlo or myself, we kind of look like each other. Even Abby, I'm pretty sure Abby running around in South America, I look just like you. It's because our blood is so mixed in with Malaysia and China and Spain and South America. It's just it makes sense. In Guam was a big Spanish colony at one time, and so you have a lot of Castro and Conception, a lot of that, and a lot of Filipinos.
Gutierrez, yep.
Gutierrez, a lot of Filipinos too, mixed in Guam too. So it's kind of hard to say, down the road we were mixed at one time. So, but yeah, it's not a one thing that we need. It can't blame just one person. It's a lot of factors that factor into the violence we have now. Obviously, the previous leadership didn't make it easier for us. The Chinese flu, the Kung flu, and don't know the ramifications of that. Having that as a problem for other people to blame us more, right? And not knowing that there's a lot of Asians that not Chinese. We ain't all Chinese. We're Korean, we're Filipino, we're Thai. South. Indians are also called Asians because, of course, they live in Asia too. Because you put the mask on, who do we look like? You can't tell. A lot of us, you can't tell. So,
and that's the defense. That is the defense a lot of people are using when it comes to the violence against the Asian American community. It can't be racially motivated because she was wearing a mask or he was wearing a mask. How is this attacker going to know that they were Asians? And you're like, bitch, she came out of the Asian store.
Yeah,
that's how he knew. Or it's just that I don't know. It's just I could talk a lot about this, and you and I, Floyd, we can talk about this and we can be angry. But the one thing I am thankful for is that we have an administration that has flat out and said, no, you're not going to go and perpetuate the violence against this community. And, he signed that law, right? Yeah. That was one of his first laws that he had signed when he took office, was that law about the violence against Asian Americans. And now it's like, my thing is, why are there states fighting it? Why are there states refusing to believe it's happening? So
yeah, the past 4 years I've been really, what do I say, woke, aware of of the racist undertones that's still there. Still there. We still have a long way to go. We've moved far from the 50s, 40s, 50s, and 60s, but and this is just another step, another awareness that Asians are being harassed or attacked because of not understanding. Who are you blaming? Why? And number one, you're attacking older generations. Like, what are they? You belong to be in jail for a very long time if you're doing that, because you're targeting the older folks. It's like if I attacked your grandmother, who would do that? There's no way. It's like attacking a little kid. Who would do that?
Yeah.
What kind of person would do that?
Let's not forget they're targeting Asian women too.
Yeah. And women who can't fight back, or they think they can't fight back.
Yeah, women with children, they're harassing women with children because they know that they're automatically going to not, they assume that because they have kids, they're not going to do anything, because they're not going to tell them off because, they want to protect their children. Fuck that shit. I told my kids, and I said, you know what? We're all getting concealed weapons licenses. You're going to get a taser. If you don't want a gun, you're going to get a taser. You're going to get a steel baton. You're going to get whatever you need to protect yourself, because you're not going to be a victim. If they're going to try and make you a victim, you're going to take them down. And I was like, don't worry about criminal charges filed against you. Don't worry about that shit. Worry about your life. Because you're still, if you have to do jail time because you defended yourself, you're still alive.
Yeah, I mean, women, guys. I mean, fuck, I'll embarrass anybody. I don't give a flying fuck. I'm just waiting for somebody to say something to me. Just waiting for someone to say something to me. And it's not. It's just the point. Like, I just want you to. If you're gonna try to make me feel uncomfortable, I'm gonna make you feel really uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna announce the whole fucking place.
Yeah, it's time for us to. We're no longer your punching bag.
Yeah, we're not submissive.
Yeah, we're not your punching bag anymore. We're gonna fight back, and the time for silence is gone. Don't hide when someone picks on you because you're Asian. Don't put up when they say, "Oh, ching chang chong 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 chang chang," because that's the kind of bullshit that I've been given by teenagers, and I look at them and I was like, "What the fuck did you just say to me, you bitch?" I was like, "Say it again. Say it to my face. Say it to my face." And they just, and that's a thing. When you confront them for it, sometimes like 80% of the time, they just look at you and they're like, "Fuck, she's gonna fight back."
Oh shit.
Yeah. Where's your mom? Where do you live at? I'm gonna follow you.
I'd be like, I'm like, where the fuck is your mother? Who let you out to go and do this? I said, is this what you do? You harass women? Come on. I was like, where's the security guard? And I start walking and I'm like, oh, now you're going to run away? Now you're going to run away from me? That's right. Run away, you little bitch. Because they're so used to people.
Yeah, they think we're not going to say anything. Yeah, we're not going to say anything.
We don't want to
like you said, they ain't doing it to guys. They ain't doing it to bodybuilders and shit.
There's this guy in LA. They beat up. I just forgot which one, but I think there's a couple guys that got victimized too. But I mean, it's like scrawny, like very
nerdy.
I would say nerdy looking Asian guys.
Yeah.
They're branching out. They are branching out. So.
Yeah, but they all have cousins. Talk the fuck out of here, man. We all have cousins and friends. We may look like nothing like to you, but shit.
Well, that's a fucked up thing. Because the media is like, oh, just another Asian attack. I'm like, dude, we need to start like punishing people, actually putting them in the media and say, hey, you're going out. You're going to go to jail for X amount of years for doing what you did.
Yeah. Well, it's a racist attack. It's a hate crime. Any slurs, any attacks, it's a hate crime. It's just like, look, it is what it is. So call for what it is.
Yeah. Here's my experience yesterday. I went to this Korean place to eat. It's a Korean place. They cook Hawaiian food. I don't know why, but anyway, long story short, it's kind of scary because it's like a known Asian place. Then you're there eating. I'm like, oh shit, what if something happens? Like this is like a prime target. It felt kind of awkward to me to kind of like, I'm gonna eat really quick and just head out. Right. Kind of felt unsafe. That's the mentality that's probably, I don't know, maybe some other Asians are probably having the same thing when they go to like, I don't know, Asian stores or Asian restaurants or whatever. That's probably a prime target for this kind of activities. It's like a couple, like 10 minutes away from here, there's like a couple of old ladies that got targeted too from an Asian grocery store.
Wow.
So yeah, it's not pretty safe. And I tell, I have to tell a few friends of mine, like, hey, be careful, just watch out, because they're really targeting, especially if you look really Chinese or, what I told her, like, if you look super Asian, you're a target regardless.
Wow. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I mean, just be more aware out there, especially look out for our older generation. Of course, our females, our ladies out there. Of course, our trans too, same thing, because I know we have a lot of friends who are trans too, and just got to be careful when you're walking out there. I mean, for the time being, and then be vocal, voice out your opinion. I mean, if here in San Diego, I don't think is as bad because we're very diverse, at least around here in San Diego. I'm not sure about in the mountains up there, but just be aware, situational awareness, and call them out loud. Get call it for what it is. If they start harassing you, attacking you, fight back.
Yes, and if you are afraid, if you see something happening and you are afraid to stick up, because you don't know, because we don't know what they're carrying anymore. We don't know if that person has a gun in them. We don't know if they're gonna, if you're afraid that they will turn that violence against you, please start videotaping, call 911, be, and when it's over, please go to the victim, offer to help them out, because we can't beat this treatment. We can't stop it from happening if it's just going to be the Asian American community. We as a society we have to come together, and we have to put our foot down and say, no, you're not going to do this, because for every 10 person that is a bad person, there's like 50 really good people. These people that are committing these crimes, they're a small amount of who we are as a society. And we never know, we never know what's happening. We don't know what they're carrying. So like I said, be vocal. If you can't be vocal, be there for the victim. Call 911. Start the videotape, because there are Instagram accounts, there are social media accounts that are taking those videotapes, those videos, and using it to search out these people, to help either local law enforcement, or to even just let these people's in place of employment know that they're employing people who have committed crimes.
Yeah. And it's crazy. It's crazy that people are doing that anyways. What are you on? Everybody has smartphones, man. And you could tell by January 6th, especially, we got tattletellers out there. I don't have to do anything. All I gotta do is post a video of you, and someone's gonna recognize it, and blah 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 blah, and hear that, and then what you do, how you act, and how you speak, that's all on you.
Yes.
Everybody, 90% of the people in at least in the States has a phone, and they will record your ass, and they will.
What is it? What is it they're calling it? Doxing. Doxing, when you put out a person's information.
Yeah.
You can't complain if you've been doxed, because you did something stupid and you committed a crime and you hurt someone physically. Don't be surprised if your place of employment gets it and your boss calls you in and says, yeah, we saw that video of you. We can't have you working here. We can't have you representing our company.
Our brand, yeah.
Yeah. Because that's what it is. It's so.
What's funny is when it goes to their employer, then they'll start apologizing.
Oh yeah. I was just having a bad day.
Exactly.
I was off my meds. I was depressed. Oh, it's all the.
My dog died, and
I took it out on the wrong person. No, bitch.
Yeah,
you know what you were doing.
Started being racial for no fucking reason. Like, the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
No one does that. Now, when you're drunk, it is it is more that you're racist when you're drunk. Like, what I'm saying? That's how
the
you
truth
really
comes out. Yes, the truth comes out once you're drunk. There's
so
no.
you can't even make that excuse. Oh, I was drunk. No, bitch. Yeah, you were drunk, but that's your true self when you start saying some racial shit. So, so there's no excuse anymore. I mean, go ahead, do what you got to do, man, because everybody else is just gonna catch you on Instagram, on Facebook, and they're gonna route you out. There's no remorse.
Nope.
Yep. All right, guys. I know we talked a little bit about that, and I know we're, one of the things about the Asians is, out of adversity, we there's always a light at the tunnel. We're very accepted. Don't weigh this too much on you, and there's a lot of problems in your life and in the world that you have to worry about. But we just want you to be aware, and have courage to speak out, and have courage to support if you can. And everybody has a different status in their life, and I understand some can't be out front, depending where you're stationed in life. I get that, but don't have regrets. Don't be 10, 15, 20 years from now. I remember the time when Abby and Carlo and Floyd went out there. I should have went out with them. Don't have regrets. And just, do it the way you need to, but don't just stand by. Standing by also is also a way of being part of the problem.
Yes.
Not just for the Asian, yeah.
Silence is violence.
Silence is violence. Just for the Asian community, but also for our brothers and sisters in the Black community, Latino, our Muslim brothers and sisters too. It's you have to make a stand, and we're here for you. So whatever you got to do, just be vocal. If you support, donate, donate stuff, food, support. You gotta do that. Anyways, thank you guys. I know that was our 1 hour spiel on what was happening the past couple months, couple weeks actually. But it's been going on for a long time, and it's not an easy fix. And it's, again, a lot of factors. But one day, you guys, it'll come to you what you can do to support. Great. All right, guys, we're almost done here. We got about 10 minutes, so really quickly, I'll talk about the pod decks. Pod decks are unique interview questions and episodes starting prompts in the palm of your hand. So whether you are a new podcaster or an existing podcaster looking to grow your audience or get more engagement, you're going to want to check out poddecks.com. Use code HWY54 for 10% off your first order. And so today's topic is called The Hustle.
The hustle.
Hustle here. Oh, let me see here. Make sure. There you go. Okay. All right. Couple questions. Got 10 minutes here. How do you value? I'm sorry, not the hustle. Man, I do the wrong one.
Yeah, you did the hustle. Didn't we do that last week? We did the hustle last week.
Okay, sorry. It's called Globetrotter. All right. What do you value most about traveling? Since three of us have traveled a lot, what do you value most about traveling?
What do I value?
Food.
Yeah.
Food and culture.
Yeah, the culture and the food. Yeah.
Oh, also theme parks.
They didn't have theme parks open when we went to the UK. So.
Oh.
And my husband wasn't willing to spend, I think it was £75 to go to the Warner Brothers Studios for Harry Potter. He was all like, "Do we really want to do that? Do we really?" And I looked at him and I said, "Fine."
All right.
I'm going.
So food is the most important, or it's just one of the things.
Food and culture, and then the sites for me. Like always, yeah.
I like I enjoyed learning about the places that we went and traveled to. It's always fun. Yeah. I'm a nerd, so.
Favorite travel photo taken? I would say Mount Fuji. The 5 times I did it was one of my favorite photos.
Damn, boy.
5 times.
Yeah. I think my favorite from the last vacation we had was taking the picture on top of Arthur's Seat, because we climbed that. Yeah, nice. we climbed that, and that was a hard one for me because I'm afraid of heights.
Okay.
But I wanted to do it, so we did it. But it was a challenge.
I would say the Eiffel Tower. I done that too, and the Louvre. One of my favorite photos, but the Eiffel Tower would be one because one of my dreams, bucket list.
Mm-hmm.
The castle, what's that called in Germany? The one that's based on the Disney castle, Neustadt. Anyways, the castle that was based on the Disney castle, whatever that is. I forgot the name because of the N. How about you, Carlo? What's your favorite photo?
I think the latest one was we went to Mexico and I took a picture. It's called the Eye of the Pacific. I just try to look for examples, but I take a lot of pictures when I travel for just whatever, Instagram. But just I like to print pictures still and post it on the wall, like places I've been to the first time.
Oh wow!
So I did that, and then my last trip to Hawaii was 2019. We did a quick hike, and then we went into this I think in Makaha there's the overlook where you can actually see a good view of the beach.
Oh wow.
But yeah, I take a lot of travel pictures when I can.
Nice.
Yeah. it's still stuck in my phone. And my husband said, "Are you ever gonna delete those?" Yeah, I'm like, no. It's uploaded. It's been uploaded. I uploaded, but
not the stuff that I like to print.
Oh,
I
okay.
do. I do. I like printing my
Mhm.
photos. I actually like one of my photos that I printed was we were standing in front of what is it called? The drawbridge on God, it's not London Bridge. It's God, I forgot what it's called, but it's the one of the bridges in London. And then yeah, we took a picture over there, and yeah, it was like I said, the castles. I have tons of castles. We have tons of pictures from when we went to the museum,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah. But I felt bad for my husband. I had dragged him all over, the UK at that time, and he like 10 days into our 14-day vacation, he got sick. So like the last. Yeah. And he was like, "I bet you it was COVID, baby. I bet you it was COVID," because it was happening at the time, and we were riding the tube, which, and after you've been to a place where you can either walk because everything is walkable, or the public transit system is just amazing. Yeah, you kind of, when we came back, I looked at him and I was like, I kind of missed the tube. I miss being able to go. It's crazy because it's always packed, and those pictures of the videos of people shoving the trains in. Is it Japan or China when they just shove?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how it. At times that's how it felt like, but you can't beat it because it's so reliable. It was reliable.
Yeah, England and Japan have one of the most reliable transportation ever. So New York too.
Yeah, New York too. New York has it, and then DC has their own little small train. It doesn't go everywhere, but it's still, you can still, so you don't have to own a car. And that's what, when I was jokingly telling my husband, I said, I don't mind moving here, like in a couple of years. If we had to choose a place to relocate, I wouldn't mind living here in like London or Edinburgh, because everything was within walking distance, or you get on the tube. I don't have to buy a car.
Yeah, it's true. All right, if you could take only 5 items on your next trip, what would it be?
Shit.
Well, it's like, obviously, you don't need a camera, technically. So your phone, obviously, with a extra charger, because you're always going to be out for
debit card and passport.
Debit card, passport, yeah,
and buy everything when you get there.
And a bag. So I like the one sling bag, because you can put it right here, or you get those coats where you can put everything. They have so many pockets inside, outside. You put your phone and all that. So when you're traveling, it's waterproof, but it's light. I have one. It's a travel jacket.
A travel jacket. Oh, yeah. I have to go and look for that, because I did. Yeah. We for our last trip, we actually bought a travel backpack because we didn't want to have a carry-on. I mean, what is that? We didn't want to check in our luggage, so we just decided to do carry-ons. And so 5 things would be my phone with an extra battery pack.
Yeah. Always.
My let's see. Because you can, like Carlos said, you can buy everything.
That's kind of cheating.
Yeah, but that's just money that you save for something else. I don't know.
Yeah, but I would bring a backpack. I would bring so that's 3. 4th would be one of those what is that? One of those plugs.
So that universal plugs, yeah.
Yeah, the one of the plugs, so that that you can always
plug it anywhere.
Yeah, and my passport. that's it. Yeah, I'd be happy.
Well, also, I would add 6. One would be the for the around your neck thing, little pillow. Because I can sleep easy, man. If I don't have that, it's like like this. Oh, little pillow.
Okay, if we're doing a 6, I would need a Benadryl.
Yeah.
Yeah, allergy medicine, because I guarantee you, I'll get my allergies when we're up in the air. I will experience some kind of seasonal allergy in whatever area it's a Benadryl.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Let's see. 5 things.
Yep.
Like passport.
Yep.
Passport. Another ID. Just in case.
Uh-huh.
Phone. Wallet with everything.
Mm-hmm.
And probably just deodorant.
Deodorant.
Deodorant. Yep.
Yeah, I'm not super bajo, but I do.
I just don't want to be that guy.
Oh yeah, that's true.
What is that smell?
Yeah, I got my wallet to solve everything else, but
who is that? Who is that odoriferous person?
Yeah, like dude, that's the one thing.
Especially in the subway, like holy fuck, someone fucking bajo in here.
Mm-hmm.
The subway in Japan.
Oh my god, yeah.
Korea, it smells like fucking kimchi. That's what it smells like. All right, have you ever attended a sporting event in a different country? If so, what sport?
I were going to baseball in Japan, but that was it.
Baseball in Japan.
Hey.
Actually, American football. When not the Vikings, but the Falcons and the Colts were there.
In Japan?
Yeah. Remember they always do a game in Japan off seasons.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, we're not really big sports people, and it's so funny because when we went there, we went. I think it was our 3rd day in Edinburgh. The 5 Nations rugby tournament was happening, so every fucking buddy was there in the pubs celebrating. Okay. Yeah, it was like 30 degrees and you saw people wearing their damn kilts because it was Scotland versus I think France.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so it was just crazy. And I looked at my husband and I said, it's a good thing we're not sports people because
Yeah. Hey, last question here. In the night, have you ever committed a crime or an illegal act while traveling?
Jaywalking?
Pee on the side of the road? I don't know. That's a legal act.
Nah. I mean,
peeing on the side of the road? Because you can't just pee anywhere. That's an illegal act, right? Oh, okay. So I went to a supermarket next to my house, and you get the basket, and you put your food in there and all that, right? So in Japan, they give you the bag and you bag it up yourself, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, I paid for my food. I had my food in there in the basket with the plastic bag. And then I looked outside. I can see out the window because I parked. So that's one of the things. I parked illegally because in Japan, you just put your hazards on. You can legally park there for a few seconds, for a few minutes. And when I looked outside, I go, oh shit, the parking police was out there, behind the car. So I walked out. Right. So I walked out, went and gone to my car, and I turned the car and I drove off. And the parking police didn't give me a ticket. But I looked over and goes, oh shit, I have the basket. I actually so I walked out with the basket and I walked away. So 2 things, legally parking and took a basket. So it's actually my Facebook because I was laughing about it, and I put my little nephew inside the basket and said, "Look, this is what I do after stealing a basket from the market." So 2 legal things.
How about you, Carlo?
I think jaywalking is like my number one thing every time I travel because I'm so used to like, nobody really follows that. The next thing I know, like everybody else actually follows it, like Japan. I'm like, oh shit. Yeah. Nothing too crazy though. I mean, I don't know. Drunk all the time and daytime drunk. That's not illegal though.
Yeah.
I try not to get in trouble because it's pretty expensive if you're a tourist in another country to get out of jail.
Oh yeah. Jaywalking. Oh, that's everywhere, even here. Every jaywalking time. Philippines, shit, we jaywalk all the time.
Yeah,
Philippines.
There was no jaywalking at all in the UK. Oh well, very little that I saw, and it's like people just follow the traffic laws. Yeah, but then they have. It's funny because you know how like their direction is different from Americans.
Yeah.
So they actually spray painted where to look once you're in a crosswalk. So if you need to look right or you need to look left. So I was told my husband, because my husband is so bad, he would just like walk. If he sees that the cars aren't there, he just walks. And I don't know how many times he almost got hit when we were in Edinburgh, because he would just walk and I'm like, babes, you have to go look the other way. And he's like, well, nobody was coming down there. And I said, yeah, because it was coming from that way, not that way. And he's like, oh. And he goes, well, how am I supposed to know that? And I said, you look down and you read.
Yeah.
And he goes, I don't have time for that. That's why you're here with me. So, you can tell me where to go. And I was like,
so guys, I just wanted to just define a little bit more about how people smell depending on what you eat. So in Korea, Koreans don't actually sweat. It's in their genetics. I love kimchi, but you smell the things that you usually eat. So in Korea, it would be like kimchi. India would be curry. Filipinos would be like toyo, adobo,
vinegar.
Yeah, the island like spam. You smell it, you eat, and so usually summertime, all that. So, but like I said, in Japan, they don't believe in deodorant. In Korea, they don't either because they usually don't sweat on their armpits. So it's very hard to get deodorant in Korea. It's actually proven fact.
Wow, I did not know that.
And they don't really smell. But they smell the way what you eat, right? Yakimandu or kimchi. Philippines is pancit, lumpia, adobo, whatever, dunuguan, whatever it is. So it's just a distinct smell depending where you come from and what you eat on a daily basis. So I'm not saying, oh God, it's baho. I'm just saying it's a distinct smell. They smell like adobo. All right, guys, this is DJ Kid Mango, and of course Abby, Carlo in the house. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next week. Is it April? Almost April. April is my birthday month. Well,
woohoo!
All right, guys. Thank you very much. Have a great evening, and we will talk to you and see you guys on the next time.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye.